Well, Marcus, I know that you just took a family trip and we're only miles away from the tornado. Thankfully, y'all were okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So we weren't necessarily into the Mayfield tornado. That's the big long track one that everybody's talking about. We were actually in a separate tornado that actually went through our college town, Bowling Green, Kentucky. We were up in Campbellsville, Kentucky, where my brother was graduating, and that storm passed us by about 7 miles to the northwest, but it was very close, very dangerous. It's one thing to be in studio talking about these storms and guiding folks. It's a whole nother thing to talk about when these storms came through. Let me show you how these storms are classified here. Some very interesting information. They are on a 6-scale format here, enhanced Fujita scale, giving us a measurement for all of the storms. Now, we've seen a little bit of everything here in East Texas. One thing that we have not seen, at least from my memory, and I'm sure we have probably going back a long time ago, was an EF5. We have not seen that. The highest we've seen is an EF4. You go back to the storm that hit in Canton back in 2017. But we know at least from the Mayfield storm, the Quad State storm, it's rated at least in EF3. That's winds starting at 136 miles an hour. There's some indications that it's probably going to be an EF4, maybe even a case perhaps near EF5. We'll have to see how all of that takes shape. But the main story here is that entire stories of homes are destroyed. We saw a lot of the buildings. The courthouse, I saw a picture of there, the steeple down. The top levels of that building down as well. So there can be some significant major damage. This was the storm. It started in Arkansas, actually developed as showers in Little Rock. Then the storm began to strengthen, produced a tornado east of the Paragould area. Southeast Missouri crossed over Interstate 55 there. There's Mayfield, Kentucky, where that storm really did the worst of it damage. A debris ball signature as the storm was moving in. Very powerful storm. That storm continued to track off to the north and to the northeast, doing its damage there in portions of central Kentucky. But here is the rotation track. Notice the areas of green getting into the red. That's where we had the strongest circulation of the rotation. And as we get closer to Mayfield, you can just clearly note the track of this storm and how it played out, worked its way into Princeton, Central City as well, even just coming just south of the Madisonville area. That's in Hopkins County. Now, the storm that we were keeping an eye on for us with our family, that's why we were out of town up in Campbellsville, it actually started northwest of Nashville and northwest of Clarksville, producing EF3 tornado damage as it moved into the Bowling Green area. Look at the track here of that storm. Some major damage there across Bowling Green with several reports of fatalities there also. We were in downtown Campbellsville. That storm went just northwest of us, and just this afternoon rated an EF3 with top winds at 140 miles an hour. Okay, here are the takeaways. These were things that I learned, and I think it's important for us to share with you. Saw this from a couple of my meteorology friends from WKU. Be the hero. Call, text, do whatever you've got to do to get people informed about the weather. Have a nighttime plan. We talk about severe plans in general. You got to have a night plan. That may even mean somebody staying up, keeping an eye on the storms as well. And I think it's so important to say that tornado season in the south, here in East Texas, it can happen all year around. Certainly something to take away from all of that. All right, this morning, it was cold. We started in the 20s and the 30s. Tomorrow morning, not as cold. We're looking at 30s and 40s, but we're also tracking some cloud cover that'll move in. You'll notice that here at the end of the sequence here, picking up over portions of deep East Texas. This will begin to increase heading into the day tomorrow. As a matter of fact, we're going to go mostly cloudy. Could even go with a couple of light showers for tomorrow as temperatures try to get to near 60 degrees. We're going to start to warm back up here over the next few days. Small rain chances, Tuesday 70s, Wednesday up to near 78, close to 80 perhaps. Rain chances begin to pick up, but it will get colder next weekend with more periods of rain possible. So the second half of the week promising to be wet. Deep East Texas, low rain chances to start, and then we're going to see a big warm up. Look for those rain chances to increase and then getting colder by Saturday.